E.W. Jackson is a black conservative and a fundamentalist Christian minister. He ran for U.S. Senate in the primary in Virginia in 2012. He is the founder and current president of STAND, which stands for Staying True to America's National Destiny, which is a conservative nonprofit organization that claims it is dedicated to restoring America's Judeo-Christian ethics. Of course, just based off of that, we can ascertain he knows nothing about America, because, of course, America was founded to be secular. You know that whole First Amendment thing? Yeah, he just brushes that under the rug. Oh, yeah, not allowed to establish a state religion? Well, obviously what the founders meant is that we're based on a Judeo-Christian philosophy. Oldest Republican mythology I can remember, probably. And he is out of his mind. Here he is answering a question about disaster relief. He's now been nominated as the Republican Party candidate for Lieutenant Governor of Virginia at the state party convention. Listen to this.
What role does the government have, if any, in helping folks following predictable natural disasters like hurricanes along the coast, earthquakes along the fault lines, or droughts in the Midwest?
Well, I'll tell you something. I don't think that the federal government has much of a role at all constitutionally. At all. Now, you may make an argument that it does. You might argue that it's a national security issue. You might argue that it weakens us, in the event of some sort of national military emergency. So you could make an attenuated argument. But I think it's a constitutional matter. The federal government doesn't have a whole lot to do with that. In my view, these are things that are ultimately supposed to be handled by the states. And so we've got a big 10th Amendment problem in our country, and a failure by our federal government to recognize that states are sovereign. Now, we are a union, we are a federal government, we do have a federal government, and we do have a constitution that binds all states. But when it comes to the federal government trying to be the be-all and end-all for everything that happens in life, I think this is exactly how we've gotten to where we are. We've turned the federal government into a kind of God. And you turn to the federal government for everything. And I think that's simply got to stop.
Okay, that's interesting. You can now move along. Go sit outside. Thanks for your interest in this position, but you're done. Okay, after that, you're not qualified to be dog catcher. No. This goes back to the central mythology on the right about the Constitution. There's this group called the Tenthers. Now, the 10th Amendment, of course, says that those things which are not laid out in the Constitution are delegated to the states, right? So what this group has done is they have rewritten not only the Constitution, but they've rewritten history and all the subsequent Supreme Court decisions to say everything is unconstitutional, everything, whether it be Medicare, Medicaid, any regulation of the marketplace whatsoever, the EPA, the FDA, you name it, it's unconstitutional. Why? Because the 10th Amendment trumps everything. I mean, he's actually saying the federal government constitutionally has no authority to help after a natural disaster. So FEMA's unconstitutional? No, look, if you don't like those things, at least be honest and say, I disagree with the federal government doing anything. I'm basically an anarchist. I'm an anarcho-capitalist. We should have capitalism and no government with it. At least be honest. Don't hide behind the Constitution and pretend like it agrees with you when it doesn't agree with you. You know what all of these idiots disregard? There's two parts of the Constitution. Historically, there's been a battle between the 10th Amendment and two other parts of the Constitution. One is the Interstate Commerce Clause, and the other one is the General Welfare Clause. Now, the Interstate Commerce Clause, of course, allows the federal government to regulate interstate commerce and business. So there's a lot of things that the government is allowed to do based off of that. But furthermore, the General Welfare Clause, that the federal government is allowed to provide for the general welfare of its citizens. Okay, So obviously there's a case to be made for the FDA. Obviously there's a case to be made for basic regulation of the marketplace. Obviously there's a case to be made for FEMA and disaster relief. But no, it's unconstitutional. Gee, I wonder if he would be saying this if it was his home and life that got destroyed in a fucking tornado or in a hurricane. Then all of a sudden, I would imagine principle goes out the window and you're in favor of the government coming in to help. But it's not even really speculation, man. Because look, every Republican ends up doing it. Whether it be Jim Inhofe when he voted against Sandy relief, but now all of a sudden he's already saying, yeah, I'm going to probably vote for help in Oklahoma. Or whether it be Chris Christie of a small government, we don't like the feds, second that Sandy hits. I would like 100% reimbursement, please, from FEMA.